We are going to delve into the topic, price elasticity of demand, PED. It is one of the types of elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand measures how a change in quantity demanded is affected by a change in a product's price, income, or prices of related products. Price elasticity of demand is a measure of the responsiveness of quantity demanded to a change in price. Elasticity, in general, calculates how sensitive a variable is to another variable. In the case of PED, the sensitivity of quantity demanded to price is measured. The other types of elasticity of demand are income elasticity of demand and cross-elasticity of demand. Income elasticity of demand determines how a change in income affects the quantity demanded of a product. Cross-elasticity of demand, on the other hand, calculates the responsiveness of the quantity demanded of a product to a change in the price of its substitute or complement. Why is PED important? It is useful when sellers are considering raising or cutting the prices of their products. The law of demand states that a decrease in price increases the quantity demanded. However, lowering prices is not always beneficial to the seller. It depends on the extent of the fall in price compared to the rise in quantity demanded. This is what PED measures. If the fall in price produces a bigger rise in quantity demanded, the seller makes more revenue. If the fall in price leads to a smaller rise in quantity demanded, the revenue of the seller or producer will decrease. The rule: revenue rises if the upward movement, percentage increase, in one variable is more than the downward movement, percentage decrease, in the other variable. But if the upward movement in one variable is less than the downward movement in the other variable, revenue decreases. The two variables here are the price and the quantity demanded. For example, if a 10% fall in price produces a 3% rise in quantity demanded, revenue decreases. In this case, the producer should not cut his price. If a 10% fall in price produces a 17% rise in quantity demanded, revenue increases. Here, the seller is advised to reduce his price as he stands to gain. This is why PED is important, as it measures the percentage change in price compared to the percentage change in quantity demanded. The formula for the price elasticity of demand is percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. Percentage change in quantity demanded is calculated as new quantity, Q2, minus old quantity, Q1, divided by old quantity, Q1, times 100. Percentage change in price is calculated as new price, P2, minus old price, P1, divided by old price, P1, times 100. Example 1. A transport company raises its fare per trip from $4 to $6. The number of trips reduces from 1,000 to 800. Calculate the price elasticity of demand. We are going to use the PED formula. First, let's identify the variables. Old quantity, Q1, is 1,000. New quantity, Q2, is 800. Old price, P1, is $4. New price, P2, is $6. Calculating percentage change in quantity demanded, Q2, minus Q1 divided by Q1 times 100. This is 800 minus 1,000 divided by 1,000 times 100. The answer is minus 20%. Percentage change in price is P2 minus P1 divided by P1 times 100. That is $6 minus $4 divided by $4 times 100. The answer is plus 50%. Therefore, PED is minus 20% divided by plus 50%, which is equal to minus 0.4. It becomes plus 0.4. We normally ignore the minus sign in PED. The minus sign is because of the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. That is, as price increases, quantity demanded decreases, and vice versa. The PED of 0.4 is less than 1. This is known as relatively or fairly inelastic demand. It means that a price change, a 50% increase, leads to a smaller change in quantity demanded, a 20% fall. In other words, the quantity demanded does not respond much to a change in price. This is the graph of relatively inelastic demand. Example 2. The price of tea decreased from $10 to $8 between 2020 and 2021, while the demand rose from 15,000 to 20,000. Calculate the price elasticity of demand between 2020 and 2021. Old quantity, Q1, is 15,000. New quantity, Q2, is 20,000. Old price, P1, is $10. New price, P2, is $8. Calculating percentage change in quantity demanded. Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q1 times 100. This is 20,000 minus 15,000 divided by 15,000 times 100. The answer is plus 33.3%. Percentage change in price is P2 minus P1 divided by P1 times 100. That is $8 minus $10 divided by $10 times 100. It gives minus 20%. PED is plus 33.3% divided by minus 20%, which is equal to minus 1.7. This becomes 1.7, ignoring the minus sign. The PED is greater than 1. This is known as relatively or fairly elastic demand. It means that a price change, a 20% decrease, leads to a bigger change in quantity demanded, a 33.3% rise. This is the graph of relatively elastic demand. Example 3. The quantity of rice demanded by consumers dropped to 20,000 bags in 2010 from 30,000 bags purchased a year earlier, 2009. This was caused by a rise in price from $900 in 2009 to $1,200 per bag in 2010. What is the price elasticity of demand? Old quantity, Q1, is 30,000. New quantity, Q2, is 20,000. Old price, P1, is $900. New price, P2, is $1,200. Calculating percentage change in quantity demanded. Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q1 times 100. This is 20,000 minus 30,000 divided by 30,000 times 100. The answer is minus 33.3%. Percentage change in price is P2 minus P1 divided by P1 times 100. That is $1,200 minus $900 divided by $900 times 100. The answer is plus 33.3%. So PED is minus 33.3% divided by plus 33.3%, which is equal to minus 1. This becomes plus 1, ignoring the minus sign. The PED is 1. This is known as unitary elasticity of demand. It means that a price change, a 33.3% rise, leads to an equal change in quantity demanded, a 33.3% decrease. This is the graph of unitary elasticity of demand. There are two special types of PED, namely perfectly inelastic demand and perfectly elastic demand. If PED is 0, demand is perfectly inelastic, meaning the quantity demanded remains the same no matter the price change. It is also called infinitely inelastic demand. For example, a 20% rise in price leads to a 0% change in quantity demanded. PED is 0, which is 0% divided by 20%. The graph of this type of demand is a vertical line. This is the graph of perfectly inelastic demand. The second special type of PED is perfectly elastic demand. For this type, the price remains the same, because a little change in the price will cause an infinite change in the quantity demanded. For example, a 0% change in price leads to a 20% rise in quantity demanded. PED is 20% divided by 0%, which is infinity. The calculator will give an error message when a number is divided by 0. This means it is so much that it cannot be measured. If the price is reduced by, say, a cent, all the goods are bought up. But a little rise in price will make nobody to buy the product. This type of demand is completely price responsive, thereby making the price unchanged. This is also referred to as infinitely elastic demand. The graph of this type of demand is a horizontal line. This is the graph of perfectly elastic demand.